Hi, greetings, and thank you for joining this discussion on data-driven account-based marketing for higher conversions. This is Satyajit Rajput, Head of Solution Engineering at Oracle Digital Prime for Customer Experience Solutions, and I have more than 2 decades of experience on CX and CDM, CRM solutions, projects, and pre-sales post-sale activities. And hence, I understand the challenges B2B companies have today to provide that contextual, relevant experience to their key accounts, to their priority accounts, prospect customers, because of lack of quality data about those accounts and intelligence about those accounts. So let me take you briefly through the agenda of today's session. I'm going to briefly touch upon initially the B2B marketing and sales challenges, then discuss about data fox overview, showcase product demo, discuss about sales and marketing alignment, how it is driven by data fox, some of the use cases and success stories, and question answers in the end. Let's take a brief look at the changing expectations that driving marketing teams to focus on executing a more targeted go-to-market strategy. As you can see, as you know, marketing has become more important function today than before, and CMOs are getting higher budgets to spend. But they're also under scrutiny, more scrutiny to deliver results, bringing revenue through new customer acquisition, increase customer retention, increase lifetime value, and much more. And they need to be spending their resources on right targets, increasing the number of quality leads to align sales and marketing funnel. Right? And the average customer journey is increasing in complexity as they interact with the brand on different channels and devices, and they expect the brands to know them across all the channels and engage them with seamlessly. On the bias on the B2B sides, B2B side, as the companies are leveraging different systems, silos of systems within marketing itself. They will have multiple systems. They have CRM systems, service systems, which are not talking to each other. Hence, they are not able to connect these customer journeys. They are not able to identify those buyers, and hence not able to provide them a relevant contextual messaging. As you know, as Gartner mentioned, or Gartner report says that two-thirds of buying cycle is already completed by buyers, B2B buyers, by researching and identifying the products or the brands from where they want to buy, shortlisting those brands and products before they even connect with those vendors, right? And hence it is important for marketing to be there in that two-thirds of the cycle to influence the customer with the relevant curated content, contextual messaging, and then remaining one-third buying cycle where the the buyers are connecting with the brands. They need to ensure that they pass the information to the sales so that sales can take it over from there and provide that contextual relevant messaging to complete the purchasing process easier for those buyers, right, on different channels and on the right channel on the right time at the right time, right? So as the expectations have changed, so has the marketing strategy. Today, 84% of the B2B marketers identify ABM as having higher ROI than any other approach. But data remains a bigger challenge for them, as marketers feel that many of those marketers feel that the customer data quality is a bigger challenge, and only 15%, less than 15% of them are confident in their customer data quality, while this more than 80% of the marketers consider data management as a top 5 concerns. From a sales and marketing, a sales CRM system point of view, 52% of the company data in CRM system is inaccurate. Close to 29% is incomplete or invalid, and 23% is duplicate data available. So apart from these inaccuracies in the CRM system, from a static data, which is about company account, there's substantial relevant data which is available outside in the world wide web, in the internet, which is in the form of announcements, in the form of a news, in the form of blogs, in the form of awards, which is available and which is very relevant for relationship of accounts, relationship of this, salesperson with those accounts, right? Or the progression of those leads or opportunities, or the probability of closing those leads or opportunities, as well as expanding the footprint in terms of additional solutions. So if you don't have this information available in your CRM systems or marketing systems connected with those accounts, you are losing out substantial opportunities to upsell, cross sell, to focus on those right accounts, to expand the footprint, to expand the total addressable market for your company. So with this marketing data, the accounts data, the CRM data, the World Wide Web information about those companies, they're all working in silos, and they're not providing you that connected view. And that disconnected data creates a disconnected experience for your B2B buyers. Those buyers get the features that are completely irrelevant from your sales rep, because sales rep or sales people are not, or marketing people are not aware about their priorities, their needs, about their recent announcements, about their expansion plans, about their uh, new investments. And they receive a conflicting message from sales and marketing, because those sales and marketing in a vendor organization are not aligned. They're not talking to each other. There are no systems to connect those two functions. And then those sales reps from the vendors talking to the buyers are out of sync with their business priorities of those buyers, because of lack of account intelligence. From a seller's perspective, these or vendor's perspective, these their people on sales and marketing side, operation side, spend most of their time on researching and finding information about those accounts. They end up wasting a lot of time in selling into wrong companies because of lack of intelligence. And then you have those systems which are disconnected, like sales and marketing, and within marketing there are multiple systems. They're disconnected, they're outdated, and that's where DataFox helps you to connect those trusted B2B data points using AI. You have those blogs, press releases, social media, your job listings, trade shows, government filings, award list, and then your CRM and spreadsheets data, which is lying in your organization. All processes close to 220 million records on a monthly basis. Just imagine if you don't have this, each individual rep would be taking substantial amount of time to search this information from different sources. And even if they do that, that information, this information from different sources keep updating, or keep because it's a dynamic information, keep changing. Hence they can't be doing that on a regular basis for each and every account when they have hundreds of accounts. So how does DataFox engine works here? You have those billion data points processed source every month. 5.6 million websites are scanned, crawled every month. 21 million signals are processed every year. That information becomes an input into the source engine of DataFox, which is leveraging the NLP, natural language processing based data creation, using this web data, using this API streams of ingestion of data from different sources, the RSS feed. And then machine learning detects those anomalies, signals. AI matches and duplicates those records to provide you firmographic and signal data. Firmographic data could be name, description, location, headcount, keywords, industries, and hierarchies, while signals could be growth related signals about their expansion plan, their financial results, their announcements, the people hiring their CEOs or CXOs announcements, hiring announcements, the recognition they get in terms of awards, the events they attend, the corporate updates from their side about their expansion plan, about their new product launches, their investments, and then those risk signals related to compliance, related to uh, their bankruptcy filing, let's say, right? And that information is leveraged by Fox to build that 5.8 million companies information currently in the system. And every year we are adding 2.4 new entities in this system with a 70 plus firmographic data points, what you have seen in the previous slide, and 68 plus real-time signals, right? And not only it uses AI data, powered engine, powered algorithms using NLPs and ML to connect those data points from different sources, but also has the human in the loop, which is a validation team of people to validate those data from AI and detect those or identify those outliers, anomalies, to correct that data or get or based on those customer inputs, feedbacks about those data for each of those individual accounts. And this information is leveraged by sales and marketing to have those smart talking points for with their customers, to leverage that for a better account discovery, for account prioritization based on their funding, based on their recent funding information, based on their investments, based on their expansions, account enrichment in terms of the additional firmographic and data points which can be leveraged for identifying the priority of those accounts. From a marketing perspective, to help them to enrich those account leads information, lead score is leveraged, leveraging this data points uh, to improve the lead scoring model. And then you have total addressable market expansion beyond what you have currently in terms of account list, because you have these new companies, new entities getting added every year, which could give you additional accounts to focus on based on your criteria in terms of their fundings, revenues, number of people uh, working in this organization, right? And how does it work? So when I was talking about the priority of those accounts can be defined with your own account scoring model. So here you can define those criteria of those accounts, and those criteria could include headcount. It could be based on funding, based on the revenue, based on whether they are part of Forbes or Fortune 500 or INC 5000 or Deloitte, fast growing companies, tech companies. So you can have different weightages to different criterias, which would help you to create to calculate the scores for various accounts which you have identified, and those account scores are published against those accounts. And then it is also um, creating that bar chart of the scores of those accounts and helping you to identify what are your tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 accounts in terms of percentage, or in terms of counts. For example, you may say that my top 10% in terms of account score could be your tier 1 account. Top 100 accounts could be your tier 1 accounts who has high score, account score. The next one could be tier 2 accounts, 200, 300, or 20%, which could be leveraged by marketing or inside sales team or business development to nurture those accounts and find out the right opportunities or leads from those accounts. And then the rest of the accounts can be given to your external parties or external or partners to work with them and to nurture those accounts. So you can have different strategies based on those account score. So let's look at the brief demo of this product. And see how it works. So here you can see on the left hand side, you have those list of the companies which you have created, which in the list tab, you can upload the list of your companies and match it with those list of accounts which we have, about 5.8 million records which you have for companies, to enrich those data points for this list which you have already identified as a part of your account planning exercise. If not, you can always create a new list of accounts based on this 5.8 million companies records what we have in the system, where you can slice and dice that information based on your filtering, the various filtering criteria which are available. For example, as a company, you want to focus more than 1,000 companies headcount and 5,000 people headcount companies, up to 5,000 people headcount companies, uh, because of the mid-market strategy you have. And then you can specify which location you focus on. Maybe you just focus on US market, or you focus on uh, specific region of that US market. So you can arrive at those filtering criteria. So for example, I can just pick up 5,000, then location, I can add a country, and within country, I want to see that I want to focus on North American market. In North America, I just want to, Canada and Mexico is not my market because I don't have office. And then you can specify which industry I want to focus on, maybe financial services, maybe information technology, maybe media and entertainment as a part of my key market. And I want to also focus on companies having more than 10 million or 100 million revenue, right? So, and then I want to see what kind of signals I want to receive for those companies, financials, growth related, any negative news about those companies, any recognition awards these companies have received, the conferences which they're going to attend, right? And then based on the similar web rank, uh, which is uh, which is published by similar web, you want to filter this list of companies. And when you apply that, it it is bringing down your target account list to 2,900 companies. And you can see for each of those companies, you have those various details available, the keyword, their account score, their tier in which they fall into based on that account scoring factors, the funding received, total funding received, and then again various other data points, right? Those data points, you can add more columns for that and see in a single view, right? And then this information can be leveraged to create a static list, select all the accounts, add into a new list. Let's say mid-market, US mid-market focus companies for me, and this, once I create that list, I can also make this as a dynamic list where, based on the funding information which is getting regularly updated, the new set of companies may get added, or the current set of companies may be removed from that top 2,900 companies which I have selected based on my target markets, and will the list will get automatically updated. So this is something which is fantastic feature available, a dynamic list which will enhance your uh, target market or potential opportunities, because there's a good possibility that what happens is you decide in the beginning of the year that I want to focus on these companies, but you left out some good companies which are progressing or growing very fast in terms of fundings, those startup companies, and expanding their market, right? And when you remove this filter, you can see that those 5.8 million companies available here in the system, and their account score, their ranking, the tiers, when they were founded, and summary of information available about those uh, 5.8 million companies, that which, whether they belong to B2C, B2B, which industry they belong to. As you can see here, what is the number of employees and buckets they fall into, what technographies they have, all these companies. And then once you further go down, you can also see the funding information here, companies by funding. And then you can see this information by region. So you have substantial information available for you to define. So you can see in the US, you have 2.3 million companies information available in DataFox, right? And then I was talking about those account scoring criteria in one of the slide. So here you can specify that what kind of companies you want to target as part of your top priority. So it could be based on funding, it could be based on headcount, it could be based on location, it could be based on it could be based on revenue. For example, in US, I want to focus on SFO San Francisco companies because I have office there, so I can quickly connect with those customers on a day-to-day basis. So this is how you can define the criteria and run a publish, and then it will create those distribution of accounts based on their scores, and then you can leverage this slider to define tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 accounts, or you can manage tiers to say that 10% of companies are my tier 1 accounts, 20% of the companies are tier 2 account. You can add new tiers. You can also specify top 10% of those in terms of percentage, that my tier 1 account, top 20% is next 20% is tier 2, tier 3 accounts. So you can define those tiers and then focus on that information. These tiers and account score can also be leveraged by the lead scoring engine in a marketing automation tool like Eloqua, and also segmentation of those accounts based on account scores and tiers, so that the marketing can focus on those identified tier 1 accounts with a better approach. These tier 2 accounts would be nurtured by the marketing team over the period of time, and they will also have a clear set of alignments of goals in terms of accounts with the sales team as well based on those account score. Uh, so the account score will define the quality of lead also for sales to work on, because this account score criteria has been decided by both sales and marketing. Hence, they would align on those identified tier 1 accounts and focus on those accounts to get more upsell cross-sell opportunities to increase the revenue, get new deals from those companies, right? So as you can see, those list of companies here. So in this case, I had created that SFO list of companies with 360 companies identified. I can I can define it as a static or dynamic list. I can define the alerts, what alerts I want to get, and so you can say that I want to pick up growth related alerts, financial related alerts, as you can see right here, and then people related alerts, recognition related alerts, events and marketing related alerts, corporate updates, any negative news about these companies, about filing bankruptcy, layoffs, or financial instability, legal issues involved, right? Which could be a which could decide your priority to focus. And then once you select those, it will start giving you alerts in the email. So as I can show here, one of those emails where I received quite a few alerts of those companies which I had finalized in DataFox, right? So as you can see here, those alerts are coming on a regular basis in my inbox, right? For those companies which are identified as a part of my list to focus on. And this information can be leveraged by me as a smart talking points with consumer. If they have received the award in the market, I can congratulate them, and they would feel very nice about it, that uh, that I'm the first one to congratulate them for that award based on that real-time signal which I have received for their company, right? So this is the signals, how the signals can be leveraged effectively by sales and marketing people to build that relationship with those companies, right? You can also gain insights for each and every those lists which you have identified. For example, I can run an insight report for these companies from here once I have identified, and then leverage that insight information for each companies in terms of headcount, in terms of funding they have received, in terms of their revenue, to further focus on right companies with the right set of information available in the data box. So let's say if I pick up this companies which has, let's say, SFO list which I had created some time back with 360 companies part of this SFO list, and these companies were uh, okay, I can go back to that, right? Okay, some challenge to open that list. Maybe let's pick up existing one. And when I look at this list, I can go back and pick up one of those companies, let's say Pearson. So when I move the cursor on that, it will start showing me more details about Pearson. When I open that, it will show me all the details about that company in terms of employees, CEO name, similar web rank, right? And then you can find contacts, the email pattern. From LinkedIn, you can find contacts. You can get a brief description, how the account score was calculated for this particular account, the keywords and technographics in that company, Pearson company, and then the subsidiaries information, funding information. So this gives me a substantial information as a sales rep to find out and start talking to this company based on this information. Those signals, as you can see, growth signal, financial, people, recognition related signals, and I can leverage that information again for smart talking points, their job posting, their corporate hierarchies. And when I go to any of those companies, open that company, let's say I've just picked up oracle.com here, and there is a plugin available in the Google Chrome. So the moment I click on that plugin, based from that company website, I can start looking at those details of that company, which is coming from DataFox in terms of account score, in terms of signals, in terms of revenue, right? So this is very handy information, because I may be opening that company website, quickly look at those data points from DataFox using this plugin, and while talking to the customer, leverage that information as smart talking points, right? So this is a brief demo of DataFox. Let me go back to my slides and finish the rest of the presentation. And here, this, as you can see, that this 68 plus 70 plus firmographic data points and signals are now seamlessly integrated with Oracle CRM or SFDC kind of solutions. To see that information in the accounts, when the sales rep search for that specific account, open that account information account screen, he can see the data focus information here and those signals. And from a marketing perspective, DataFox integrates with tools like Eloqua, marketing automation tool, world-class lead management tools, or B2B marketing tools like Eloqua. And that information resides in the form of one of the segmentation criterias. So you can leverage those account tiers, account scores, and various other data points, firmographic data, which is coming from DataFox for uh, better segmentation of those accounts and better communication in terms of relevant contextual messaging for through email or other channels with those companies audience or buyers, right? And that information can also be leveraged for lead scoring in a Eloqua, because your account score or account tier could be one of the important factors for lead scoring, because you have, with the sales team, identified that the account score is something which is aligned with the sales and marketing needs, and hence it is easy to get an acceptance of those lead scores of marketing qualified leads for sales team as well, and they can really focus on closing those and nurturing and closing those opportunities, and and get additional revenue in terms of a new business or upsell and cross-sell opportunities. That information coming from DataFox can also be leveraged in dynamic email templates. Right here, you can add those keywords from DataFox as part of your email search, email template, dynamic email template. So when the communication is sent to those buyers from those companies, they feel that they got a personalized uh, email from this company or customer or vendor, as the company is leveraging that data points from DataFox. So there could be a congratulatory message based on the signal coming about rewards that or the award that company has received, or their expansion plans or the funding they have received. Right. So how does this key capabilities of DataFox helps in marketing automation? So you have this robust data enrichment done by DataFox. You have the accurate data management and scoring based on account scores, based on tiers, advanced targeting and segmentation, leveraging those tiers and various other attributes coming from DataFox. Adaptive campaign management by leveraging those data points from DataFox, the signals from DataFox to dynamically personalize those email content and communications with those buyers. And finally, because you have identified those criteria for lead scoring, including account score and tiers coming from DataFox, you have better alignment with the sales. From a CRM perspective, B2B CRM perspective, we have this win probability information getting enriched with the account scores and tiers, because now with that information uh, and the signals coming from DataFox, you would know that this company has received a funding, so there is a higher probability that now they will invest and on this technology which you are planning to position, which you are engaged with that customer for a long time, or services they wanted to offshore with you. And account enrichment, where you can enrich CRM data records, learn about your customers with AI-driven firmographic data, which is coming from DataFox. Account prioritization, you rank your target customers based on the account scores, based on the tiers, based on the signals. Smart talking points, again based on those firmographic and signal data. And then you can increase your target market, the total addressable market, based on the net new accounts which are getting added on a continuous basis as DataFox is adding more and more accounts. And if they fall into your account scoring criteria in terms of funding they have received, the revenue or the headcount they have, those accounts getting automatically added into your total addressable market, which will give you more and more accounts to focus on, and provide you an opportunity to close new deals or upsell and cross-sell opportunities those accounts, right? So these are some of these values you can derive from CRM and Eloqua integration with the DataFox, right? Again, just to repeat, from CRM perspective, you are enriching your accounts with 72 plus firmographic data points and 68 signals. Eliminate wasted sales reps time spent on researching and accelerating, and help you to accelerate the sales velocity with the help of those signals and the firmographic data points. And with that information which is available, the sales reps are spending lesser time on searching the information, and that helps them to adopt the CRM system with that data and leverage that information for their conversation with those customers, accelerating their sales cycles. And from DataFox for Eloqua perspective, on the right hand side, you are enriching those contacts with this DataFox uh, firmographic data points and signals, prioritize those leads, score those leads based on account scores and tiers, and then improve the personalization by creating highly targeted segmentation and dynamic campaigns or dynamic email templates, which will leverage those data points to make it a very personalized communication with those buyers based on those signals and data points. And also, DataFox helps you to have that sales and marketing collaboration going, because you both of them now know what are their priority accounts, which accounts they should be focusing on, their target market more strategically, and enhance the productivity from a sales and marketing side. create a shared account score for tighter alignment. As I mentioned, that the account scores and tiers can be defined by sales and marketing together, which will help them to have a tighter alignment and amplify their go-to-market efforts. Target and engage with more of the right prospect by expanding your addressable market list, by identifying what's my uh, existing accounts, which could be a lookalike, which will help me to find the lookalike companies in the market using those account scoring criteria, and help me to expand my total addressable market with those new set of accounts, because I know what language I need to speak based on my current customers engagement with those new set of customers or accounts which are getting added, which has a similar uh, attributes, which has a similar properties, or which comes from a similar industries, which have similar needs in terms of technology or expansion requirements. And then we have a data management platform which will help you to leverage those 3 billion plus B2B profiles, anonymous profiles, which are available in our third party data ecosystem in Blue Sky or data management platform, and leverage that 3 billion plus profile along with those identified target accounts in DataFox to reach out to these buyers of those companies through various data out partners like ad tech partners, to show them search, to show them display ads, to show them banner ads, to leverage that information in the search ads also, so that you are engaged with those buyers. As I mentioned in that beginning, that two-thirds of buying cycle is already completed by buyers by identifying products and vendors they want to connect with. That two-third buying cycle can be influenced by using this display ads or search ads or social ads or banner ads. So various ways you can connect with those 200 plus data out partners. Could be this Google 360, could be Tabola, could be TapAd, could be YouTube mobile ads, and then bring those customers through those ads on your digital property, so that they sign up, they engage with you, they sign up on your digital property to provide you more PII information from, so they become from anonymous to known customers now by sharing those PII information about themselves in terms of email ID, in terms of telephone numbers, and that will be leveraged by Eloqua for further nurturing, further orchestration in terms of email communication from SMS or push notifications with those buyers. So, what are the customers talking about DataFox? So, we have seen Goldman Sachs have expanded their market coverage by 25%, leveraging DataFox. Twilio has increased their new target companies by 1500 every week. Iterable has increased their deal size by 22% because now they know about the expansion plan of these companies. They know about the investment of those companies, where the sales rep can pitch a new product. They can add new services to increase the deal size. Talkdesk has increased revenue from high scoring accounts by 55%. Deloitte has seen 75% reduction in time spent on data research uh, or data wrangling. So that improves the productivity of the sales reps. So we have such 300 plus customers, and then you have you see some of those detailed case studies here. Lessonly has no standardized measure of account quality. They couldn't identify their target accounts and were wasting sales and marketing resources on wrong opportunities. Now, with DataFox, they could have a shared account score to prioritize accounts for account based marketing and sales development representatives campaigns by aligning sales and marketing on the same accounts recently has amplified both their efforts. So they could add 1,000 plus net new target accounts in the first week itself. They could add 10,000 over the period of time, new accounts, and that's what their VP of marketing says. We love using DataFox. It helps us aligning our ABM prospecting efforts better than any piece of software I have used in the past. Our marketing team uses DataFox to create dynamic list of high scoring accounts which are pulled into our ABM model and helps to support outbound sales teams. And similarly, TalkDesk has identified their ideal customer profile based on their existing customers and then leveraging that information to find out to build the account scoring model and to find out what are the similar accounts they should target based on industry, based on revenue, based on their funding, based on the technographies they have, the systems they leverage. So they can use the same language what they are interacting with their current set of accounts. They use the same language those accounts because they have similar attributes. They have similar uh, matching criteria as those current accounts in terms of industries, in terms of sub industries, in terms of solution footprints they have. Right? Similarly, you have the iterable story, Twilio story, and then lots of other customers, which you can see here leveraging DataFox. So thank you very much for your patience and thank you for attending this session. You can always connect with me on LinkedIn using this link here. And if you need more information, you can call me on my mobile number 9845 214 914. Thank you once again.